Let's talk about the VCDL's Lobby Day for 2021. Hey everybody, welcome back to Guns and Gadgets, your premier source for Second Amendment news. If it's Second Amendment news you're after, no matter where it happens in the nation, good, bad, ugly, or indifferent, you'll find it here on this channel. Please consider subscribing to stay in the know, because things evolve rapidly, especially with what's going on after the election here and the increased pressure from the anti-gunners. Which brings us to the Virginia Citizens Defense League, the VCDL, and their annual Lobby Day. Now, the VCDL Lobby Day is an annual event, and it has been traditionally held at the Capitol in Richmond, Virginia, except this year, old Governor Northam, the anti-gunner, and his cronies have thrown a couple wrenches into the gearworks. So this year's rally is still going on, but we'll talk about how. It's January 18th, which is a Monday, 2021, just a couple weeks from now. And like I said, Northam and Bloomberg and the cronies are trying to stomp this event out. Years past, VCDL has been told they can't reserve the venue that they use, the complex at their capital there, until 6 months prior to the event. However, this year was different. Phil Van Cleve, the boss man of the VCDL, he went to go reserve the grounds on the exact 6 month prior mark, except for this year, he was told, sorry, that's already been reserved. How could that happen? Now, there are 3 other plots around there, 3 other venues they consider them, in which the Capitol can hold events too, and when Phil checked into those 2, he was told, sorry, those are booked as well. Now, keep in mind, this was the day of the 6 month prior, where nobody else was ahead of him in line to get this done. So they filled out a Freedom of Information Act. And what they learned was that the groups that have reserved these 4 areas did so over a year in advance. In fact, they were reserved days before last year's lobby. Well, this year, technically, it's still 2020. But this past Lobby Day, these groups, which just happen to be anti-gun groups, they reserved the grounds of the Capitol more than a year in advance. Now, one of the groups is specifically holding a gun control type of rally, and the other groups that have reserved it are considered anti-gun as well, from what I'm told. And there are a couple other caveats in Virginia. If you watch this channel regularly, you'll recall videos I've done where cities and towns in Virginia have changed their laws around firearms once the state flipped blue, because Bloomberg wants his payback from his cronies. And if you want to have a permanent event inside of Richmond, Virginia, being a permanent event, it would then kick off a gun ban. You can't have guns at permanent events, which is ridiculous. But there was another rule that they instituted that puts any type of pro-gun demonstration at jeopardy at the State House as far as an event. For instance, if you have a permanent event and say that day the governor, one of the state senators, or the state delegates decides, you know what, I need this event space for this day, and it's already taken, well, yours gets canceled, period, no questions asked, because, the king or his court needs to use that grounds area. Also, if you say, put on your application, we're going to have 500 people show up, and like last year, 50,000 people show up, the event can get canceled immediately on the spot. Now, typical this Lobby Day, after they do the speaking, then the people who live in Virginia go into the State House and they have some FaceTime with their senators and delegates. It's been going on for 17 years this way. Well, the House members have decided they're going to go remote, so they won't even be there this year. We're waiting to see what's going to happen with the Senate. But they're trying to get away from the Second Amendment advocates, the people who would speak truth and show them their ways are wrong according to the Constitution. They're trying to avoid that altogether. So again, Phil Van Cleve and the guys and gals who run the Virginia Citizen Defense League, they have thought of a way around this. Oh, I didn't mention also, because of COVID, you can only have 25 people at an event, even if it's outdoors. So even if all this stuff was removed and VCDL got the event, they could only have 25 people show up. And if they had 26, it would get canceled. So they thought of a way around all this crazy cockamamie BS. And I'm happy to say they used a technique that was made famous here in New England. We call it the rolling rally. Same thing's going to happen here, but just slightly different. It's going to be a rolling rally type of thing, a caravan, if you will, similar to the Trump train that we saw. It was 96 miles long in Arizona. They're going to be starting this caravan from all four corners of Virginia, and they're all going to be descending on the Richmond area within a 4-hour window of each other. Have a constant flow of pro-gun traffic in and around the Capitol, and they'll also have, VCDL is going to be ordering flags. They'll be, that you can put on your car, you can put American flags on your car, or whatever, to get the message out. Now, as far as the speakers this year, Phil said they're going to be doing a streaming type of event, and I'm going to be talking to Phil about that here in the near future. I didn't want to bug him. Yesterday was Thanksgiving. Today is, I have no gusto. There's no drive for me today, so I can only imagine how he's feeling with all this. So I'll talk to him after the weekend here and get him on the channel, and we'll discuss this in detail. But if you're going to go down this year, and I fully plan on doing it this year, it's going to be a rolling type rally. We'll see what's going to go on with the speakers and stuff like that as the event gets closer. But it's become brutally honest that Governor Ralph Northam and his anti-gun legislature are doing what they can to pay back their czar, Michael Bloomberg. Don't forget he put in millions and millions of dollars into this election, past election, to flip Virginia, which is now an anti-gun state. Who would have thought that would happen? So with that said, it's more important that the people in Virginia stand stronger, stand in solidarity as a team to fight this anti-gun BS. And it started to work in this year's election because they lost some Democrat seats, and last year's turnout absolutely pissed them off. So I'll have a link down below to the VCDL. It's vcdl.org if you want to join. Also, especially if you live in Virginia, if you can kick in any money, donations, if you live in whatever, Montana, and you want to help out the fight for the Second Amendment in Virginia, you can donate there as well. What do you guys and gals think about this rolling rally type of event? It's a way around all the BS that they thought were going to stomp this event out. I think it's pretty cool that they thought outside the box on this one. All right, guys, sound off down below what you think of this, and I'll be reaching out to Phil and the crew shortly to get them on. As always, thank you for your time. I hope that your Thanksgiving was blessed. I hope you actually went out and spent time with your family, because tomorrow is not guaranteed. I, for one, chose not to let the government decide if I was ever going to see my family again, so this year was that much more special. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for watching the videos. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already. It really does help get the news out. Please thumbs up the video as well to crush that YouTube anti-gun algorithm and share it with your friends so more people see it. And until we see each other again, be safe, stay vigilant, carry a weapon, and I will see you on the next one. Take care, everybody.